Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. All dinos will be explored in this challenge, but only reasonable underdogs voted on by the community will be considered for grading. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uteranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations you need to make them competitive. But all dinos competing will have around 23,000 health and 1200% melee. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the Guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I'll let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. You can decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the megapithecus, broodmother, then dragon on all difficulties starting with gamma, then beta, finishing with alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Clearing all the bosses earns them a gold boom medal, silver is awarded for clearing beta, bronze is for clearing gamma, and the chunk of shit is for an unworthy performance. Once all expansion creatures are finished, the gold medal winners will test their strength against the overseer for the finale. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Bison. Just when you thought Ark couldn't get any easier, Wildcard delivers another easy mode tame to take on the bosses. This creature travels in a herd and even provides milk that can be used for wyverns. The Bison has two modes, Smash and Smash Harder. They increase their movement speed as they run, similar to what you've experienced with a dire bear in the World Rhino. Their headbutt attack does more damage the faster they go, they eat veggie cakes, and they barely need any mutations to become viable boss slayers. The stats required for this competition will reach with 4 mutations and 88 experience levels, 0 mutations and 22 levels went into health, and 4 mutations and 66 levels went into melee. Now let's see if they have what it takes. Green portal time means gamma time, and the Underbison is ready to charge into battle against the gamma megapithecus. I didn't expect much resistance from the megapithecus in any of these fights, especially the gamma fight. This fight is so easy you can probably pull it off with fists on a good day. Not really, but you get the point. The Gamma Megapithecus is a big baby compared to the other bosses, and the Underbison has no issues laying down a massive amount of pain. I could tell by the damage numbers going up that they would succeed in this fight, and with the mighty veggie cakes at their disposal, I didn't even have to rest before rolling into the next fight. The Underbison takes down the Gamma Megapithecus with ease. That's a pass. Gamma Broodmother is up next, and typically I like to try to block the Broodmother because it allows me to take her out while taking minimal damage. This isn't really possible with herbivores because the bosses seem to always aggro them as a priority over a carnivore like Commander Utes. This usually means that the dragon fights can be sketchy, but with the damage numbers hitting nearly 1,000, a steady rate of attack, and of course the healing effect from the cakes, no problem at all. The Gamma Broodmother tried and tried, but the Buck and Bison were too much for her to handle. That's another easy pass for the Underbison. The Gamma Dragon is up next, and I had no concerns going into this. Well, except one. I knew that the only way we'd have problems later on is if the bug where creatures don't attack when next to larger creatures was present, and of course it was. For some damn reason, every single creature Wildcard has ever made has this problem, and it's on display brightly when you take on the dragon. Your creatures will just stand still staring at the dragon's feet and do nothing. Some will fight, sure, but this bug has caused me to lose fights that I should win, and I have bug reports I've submitted that are over a year old that Wildcard has never even touched. They can't even say it's impossible to fix either because every single Ark Additions creature by Garuga works flawlessly. Bugs or no bugs, the bitch and Bison take down the Gamma Dragon. That's another pass and a full clear of the Gamma stage. Blue portal time means beta time, and the burly Bison are ready to knock heads with the Beta Megapithecus. The Beta Megapithecus isn't usually a threat, but the Bison does take an unusually high amount of knockback when fighting him. Whenever you enter the Megapithecus arena, you want to make sure that the fight takes place away from the cliff edge, especially on the inside of the path, because if you or your creatures get knocked in there, it's game over. The Underbison, with the support of Commander Utes, demonstrate a dominating performance against the Beta Dragon and knock him into the dirt, earning yet another solid pass while receiving minimal damage. The Beta Broodmother is up next, and this fight is probably my favorite one to try out if I'm skeptical of my army's ability to take gold in the Alpha stage. It sets the tone and will paint a clear picture if you can take on the Alpha Broodmother and the Dragon. The interesting thing about using smaller creatures and not Rexes and stuff is that you essentially turn the Alpha Broodmother into the most difficult boss. The Alpha Dragon is hard, sure, but if you can get under his fire attack, then he's just a chump. The Beta Broodmother is challenging and puts out a lot of damage even with official cap saddles. It's at this stage when the Aranios that the Broodmother shits out can quickly become a problem, so make sure you're taking care of them as soon as they come out of her girthy spider hole. The Beta Broodmother is no match for the Underbison. That's another easy pass. The Beta Dragon is next on the list. The Bisons charge into battle with Commander Utes on the assist. They snort and lower their heads to charge. It's like being blasted in the face by a barge. The dragon blows his fire and bites at the Bison, but their horns smash his ankles like being punched by Mike Tyson. They gorge and they stomp and shatter his feet as the dragon roars that he's gonna gobble up their booty meat. Commander Utes cocks his head sideways and drools on the ground, thinking of something random, probably a butterfly he found. The Bison buck and they stomp and they pummel the Beta Dragon. He probably wouldn't get hurt so bad if his balls weren't sagging. Down so low near the buffalo horns, the dragon reels in pain like he's dragging his nuts through thorns. The battle rages on as the lava flows near, but the dragon goes down, so don't you fear. Commander Utes and the Under Bison are the victors today. That's a pass on the board and a masterful display. Red portal time means alpha time, and the alpha megapithecus is up next. This fight is an interesting one because the alpha megapithecus isn't much of a challenge if you bring in creatures with these stats and good saddles, but he's so damn fast that sometimes it can be a challenging fight. If the creatures you're using have a slow attack speed, then sometimes it can pose problems in this fight, especially if they receive a lot of knockback from the alpha megapithecus. It creates a situation where your creatures get tossed around before they can land attacks, but can be minimized by maneuvering your creatures properly. It's nice when you're able to block the Megapithecus, but when your creatures hold aggro instead of your Uranus, then he will often change attack directions frequently and cause some problems. In the end, the Alpha Megapithecus is no match for the Underbison, and they earn another easy pass. Times sure are changing, and it's been a while since we paid a visit to Mama Broods. You see, I'm a changed man. Manny Slings Dong is officially out of prison and attends a rehab group called Jerboa Diddlers Anonymous. I don't really care if he's improving. I honestly think he's just doing it so he can stay on probation, but he's been shacked up with Mama Broods all the time too. To tell you the truth, it doesn't even bother me all that much. I can spend time focusing on Commander Utes and how to restore his mind so he can get back to being his former self. If missing out on that sweet dump truck is the only thing I lose, then so be it. I mean, it really doesn't bother me, you know? Like really. I don't even think about it. Okay, I kinda miss it. I have to attend a group too. I was diagnosed with Spooter Booty withdrawal syndrome, and the group I go to just so happens to end right when Manny Slings Dong's group begins, so I have to see that asshole every time I leave the group. I'll get my revenge, but first, Commander Utes needs to be restored. He's going to help me finish off both of them, for good. I need to put them both in the ground, once and for all, and move on from this nightmare. That's another pass. The Alpha Dragon is up next, and I swear, every time I come into this fight, I worry about the damn fire, even if my creatures are horking down veggie cakes and are able to sit under those dragon nips for some close-up dirty boxing. It's just so damn powerful and can cook most of your tames in 3 to 4 hits, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Herbivores and veggie cakes are a match made in heaven, and the Underbison use their super-duper vegan powers to lay down a massive amount of whoop-ass to the Alpha Dragon. If you can do enough damage to get a third or more of the dragon's health removed before he takes off for the first time, you're in good shape, assuming your creatures aren't all mangled and bloody at this point. The Alpha Dragon only lands twice in this fight, and as long as you're chugging medical brews when the Dimorphodons are chomping on you, you're going to be good to go. The Alpha Dragon goes down, that's a pass and a full clear. Heading over to the scoreboard, the Bison earns a gold boom medal for a full clear. The Bison makes an awesome addition to Ark, but I honestly still think they need to give some of these older creatures some love. I know that doesn't make them any money, but it would sure be nice to have some balance at this game in regards to the creatures and their capabilities. The Bison is a powerhouse, and I highly recommend getting you some. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to help this community grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.